watching Thrifty Kaniffy.
Hello everyone and welcome to Thrifty Kaniffy. Well, today we're going to be taking a look at a real steel knife. This is a modern knife from them, and this falls into the premium range, over $100, actually $170. This is the Rokot Premium. This is model number 7645P. Now, I just want to say it right up front, this was not the knife that I requested. It was actually a different knife, but this is what they ended up sending, so this is what I'm going to end up reviewing for them. But let's take a look at the other bit of the packaging here. Some really cool grind line style packaging there. Looks very much like the actual blade material, the way that they do it. It comes with a nice cleaning cloth. You got some specs here. We'll take a look at that. Also a maintenance guide. It just gives you an idea of how to disassemble the knife and how to maintain it and so forth. I believe the liner lock is what we want to look at here. And so there's what they're showing you for the disassembly. Looks like they've got some ball bearings there and one pivot screw that's got a locking side and then the other one that doesn't. So kind of neat to see that. But there's the QR code if you guys want to scan that. And wheel on blade. Not sure, I guess that's their slogan. Doesn't really make sense to me, but all right. And here's some specs. Okay, so let's look at some of this stuff here. We got Ivan Braginets as the designer. It's a liner lock, frame lock design, that's correct. 3.92 ounces, so just under 4 ounces. We've got titanium handles, S35 VN blade. Closed length, it's what, 4.61 inches. And we'll take a closer look at that, which equates to 117 millimeter. Overall, 8.23 inches when it's open. Your blade thickness is 3.1 millimeter. And it has a blade length of 94 millimeters or 3.7 inches. So not going to be UK legal, well over 3 inches. But you can see it's got a nice style, sort of a droppish point blade. Almost reminds me like a steak knife shape, right? A lot of steak knives I see quite a bit shaped similar to that. So it'd probably make for a pretty good knife for meals and such. But you got a little foam in there and then the drop where the knife rests inside. So pretty nice packaging overall. Okay, so let's take a look at the knife. We got an overall length. They said 4.6. That's pretty darn close. I'd say that's spot on. 4 5/8 or so. And that definitely measures equivalent with what the specs are saying. You can see the titanium handle. We've got a two-piece design. No liners or anything like that, just a spacer. You can see how thick the handles are. Seem very rugged, very durable. And there's jimping on the spacer there, so that's really nice that they've done that, giving you some grip. And I will say, the way they've milled the little lines there in the handle is quite grippy, and you do get a really good grip on this knife. It's while the material itself is slippery, you have that up and down grooving. You can get a good grip. You got a little jimping on the flipper tab there, so some jimping there, and then on the top of the blade on the spine there. So that's really good design in my opinion. Now, I'm not usually a fan of flippers, I must say, but I don't mind this one because it's such a low profile, and when you have the blade open, it's not going to interfere with getting that blade down quite a bit, almost just a small portion of the blade that you're not able to get flat, like a tabletop surface. Also really like the way they've done the pocket clip there. It's, milled around the front so it's not poking at you when you slide it on your pocket. And they've put a nice little bevel on the back of here so when you're gripping that, even left or right-handed, it's not poking you in the hand and has a really nice feel to it. We've got some T6 hardware here on, the handle construction. And then on the back, or the front actually, you got, another 3 screws there. Now this pocket clip is reversible, but you've got to access it from the interior. So you have to disassemble the knife to change it to the other side. but definitely can be done. It's not a massive issue if you want to put it on the other side. Now, I would probably leave it where it is. One other thing I really like about this, other than the fact that it doesn't have that really tall style flipper tab like a lot of knives do, is they've actually made something of a design on the frame lock relief. You know, the relief where it actually can flex. They haven't just left this blank like a big blank spot. You know, I really prefer when they put it on the interior, but you generally have to spend quite a bit of money for manufacturers to do that. I don't know why that happens to be. Seems like they do that a lot, but at least now they've kind of put this design on there that kind of has a mirror, you know, look to it based on the lines on the opposite side. So that's kind of cool. And I think that's a smart way to do that if you're going to put the relief on the outside. So let's look at the blade. We have like I said, about a 3.7-inch blade, pretty long blade. Really nice grind lines on there. Like I said, kind of matches the box, the way they've done that. You can kind of see that, the way they've got those vertical grind lines on there. There's a look at the blade edge, very evenly done. They always do a fantastic job on their blade edges, I think, Real Steel. And there's a look at the other side, very evenly done, good geometry, good point on the blade. Very attractive style blade. Like I said, I think it reminds me a little bit of a steak knife shape to it. So, not an uncommon shape, but not one that you'll see on a traditional knife. A little bit of a long pull here. You actually can move, open that with two hands if you'd like. There's a little bit of, you know, that recessed area there at the front, so you can access it with your thumb and just open it like old-fashioned style. But, you know, easy enough to flip open. Has ball bearings. Even with that short pivot, it really flies out of there. There's really not a whole lot of effort required. And you can see I can close that pretty easily, no problem there with one hand. And with the right hand, this is my opposite hand. Sometimes I'll hit the frame lock a little bit. So I got to be a little bit conscious of it in my right hand, but otherwise I just kind of do the exact same thing I do on my left. Just open and close, no problem. It will drop shut, but the way that I've got the camera position, it's not really easy for me to show you that. Let me see if I can bring this over here. Yeah, there we go. So just a shake or two, and it'll close right down. So yeah, very good action on the blade. I will say, you know, in the cold weather, this may be not as comfortable, or hot weather. And as a matter of fact, it's really absorbing the temperature of the room right now. I kind of feel that. A little bit cool in here today. Got the cold front moving through. And I can definitely tell that the temperature of the knife is being absorbed by that metal. So if you are in a really hot or cold environment, just consider that. You know, something to be concerned about if you're not always going to be using it at room temperature. But I think this would definitely be a good EDC. I think it's just small enough to kind of ride in the front pocket without being too much of a problem with the pocket clip. You can see how far that comes down. You're going to have about that much of the knife showing out of your pocket. So, you know, pretty good design. I do like the way they beveled that. That really is a smart way to do that. And I have to say, it's a pretty comfortable knife in hand. It seems to be beveled in all the right places with jigging or jimping in all the right places. So you've got the jimping at the top for your thumb, and that just rests up there. Nice ramp here to stop your forefinger from going forward. And I feel like I have a really good amount of control with that blade. But again, S35VN on it. And what do we have on here? We've got the logo. I've forgotten the guy's name again. Let's refresh ourselves. Ivan Braginets. And you've got that sort of like transformer logo there. Let's see if I can make that more visible. It's tough to get the light just right. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then up here at the top, it does give you that indication that the blade metal is S35VN. All right, on this side, we've got Real Steel logo. And then there's the designer's name there at the very, very tippy top of the blade. So, yeah, really easy to operate. Like the way the frame lock works. Its detent works just right. I think it's tuned really well. Blade centering, pretty darn straight. You know, probably could adjust it to be absolutely perfect. It might just be a touch to the left, but I think that's just maybe based on how tight I've got the pivot screw. You could definitely maneuver it how you need. So, very well done. I really appreciate the quality of this knife. $170, you're kind of paying for the titanium and the blade steel there. There are other options that are more affordable if that's a knife that you're interested in. But that's going to do it for my review, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell to be made aware of videos when they drop. We'll see you next time. Take care.